The first thing that caught my eye when I saw this game was how colorful it looked. Second was the slightly creepy looking clown. Seriously. But you all know that cliche, appearances can be deceiving. Dropsy completely melted my heart. The game's developed by Tendershoot and A Jolly Corpse. To summarize the story, some guy drops a cigar in one of the clown's circus acts while his parents performed, burning the whole venue down and killing his mother. It's a quirky point-and-click clown adventure with a sweet soundtrack and cute graphics. The game has no real text or dialogue, so most of the information is displayed using images. Just like this fart button in the save menu and that option to toggle the squeakiness of Dropsy's shoes, I just kept that off. Within the first 5 minutes, I already had a grin on my face. The only way of interacting with objects and people apart from clicking on them is hugging. Yes. You can give hugs to anyone and anything, and it's really cute. I mean, look at this little pup just sniffing, and this happy little squirrel, and Dropsy's just so adorable with his victory wiggling, jiggling, and I just... Ugh! One of the things that I really liked was that Dropsy wasn't the only playable character. The first is a doggy who has been with the clown ever since. The second is a mouse that Dropsy rescues from a hungry rat. The last one is a chick who partners up with him to find his mother. While you can switch characters anytime, you can't really play as anyone other than Dropsy all the way. Dropsy does all the controls while his furry friends are only required for puzzles. The dog can sniff out areas as well as dig out items, while the mouse can go through tiny holes to find objects. The chick can also go through small holes, but it's mostly used to fly up to things that are out of Dropsy's reach. So those three guys are basically his main allies, since not everyone wants some Dropsy love. Many blame him for the tragic circus incident. Even the media poses a question as to whether the clown is good or evil. The first kid that saw him ran off crying. Others won't even talk to him or let him in certain areas, though I'm just mentioning a specific part of the crowd. Each character has a different response to Dropsy, giving them individuality. This bouncer, for instance, looked intimidating compared to the others, but he's neutral towards Dropsy. Offer to hug him and he fist bumps you, leading to friendship and access to the club. Then there's the other NPCs who warm up to Dropsy after he helps them. The angry store owner from earlier warmed up to the bubbly clown after he gave him an old pocket watch containing a picture of him with his late wife. Feed the alien some crystals and he'll poop out green rings that you can give to some alien merch seller. The world itself is fairly big for a 4 to 5 hour game, filled with detail. Each section of the map would have its own tone and background music that appropriately conveys how the atmosphere feels. Due to its short playtime, backtracking was no problem, especially since Dropsy gets a car halfway through the game, unlocking fast travel. I satisfied my curiosity from exploring early on, so I got spoiled by fast travel. An issue I got was when you had cutscenes where you would automatically follow an NPC to a faraway location. The vehicle would still be in the same place as you left it in before initiating the quest, so you would have to go back on foot. It's a small peeve, I guess. A feature I really liked was the day and night cycle, since it gave the game variety. Each NPC would usually have a different schedule depending on the time. It was very useful if you needed to continue a task but was in the right place at the wrong time. The little girl crying over her flower refused to have it replaced, insisting that it could come back to life. Having Dropsy come back to the backyard at night and switching the flower to a new one made the little girl happy once morning came. Did I mention that Dropsy has such a lighthearted story? From paying respects to his mother's grave and later having his father contract an illness causing Dropsy to break into a medical clinic and stealing some floating capsules thing since he had no money to pay for it and giving it to his father who ends up looking a little dead in the morning, causing the medicine company CEO to offer him a job as a clown in a new circus being built, which leads to Dropsy showing up every day in the new circus to practice his act with his furry friends, resulting in his father being healthy again after getting proper medications, who reveals that Dropsy is actually an alien who crashed into Earth in some metal capsule, so his human parents aren't his actual parents, but anyway, Sunglasses Guy shows up in the morning after that and tells Dropsy that his furry friends are already waiting for him in the circus for their very first performance, so Dropsy walks in and waits for the platform to ascend, revealing that his friends turned into hideous creatures, and it was all according to plan for Sunglasses Dude to murder Dropsy, and to his surprise the animals still recognize Dropsy, so Sunglasses Dude runs away in frustration, causing Dropsy to look for him and discover that he was actually experimenting on animals and he's actually an alien himself who happens to be Dropsy's long-lost brother. And so the citizens that Dropsy helps tells him where the Sunglasses classes guy went and Dropsy goes into some obelisk teleporter thing to attempt to give his brother a hug but ends up being shot by him and his body gets teleported into some spaceship civilization and it turns out that his real alien mom rescued him all along with his dad and animal friends and he's the rightful king to the throne. Cool game.